The skyline of Antigua, Guatemala is a fairly unique one, to say the least. This historic city is a perfect grid of cobblestone streets and rows of colorful buildings. Every few blocks, a church towers high above the city's many plazas, where the vibrant indigenous attire of the local women contrast against its gray granite. The monolith of Volcan de Agua stands mightily in the background, overlooking the peaceful town of Antigua, a silent guardian in all its stoicism. But where there is water, there must be fire. In the far distance of Antigua Guatemala's skyline sits the twin volcanoes of Acatenango and Fuego. Plumes of smoke constantly rise from the Volcan de Fuego, and at night one can see the orange embers flying into the sky and creeping down the volcano's slopes. A safe distance away from the campsites and cabins nestled on Volcan Acatenango, people watch in wonder as Volcan Fuego puts on a show, while the earth tremors beneath them from the volcano's violent rumblings. It is one of the most incredible displays of nature's raw beauty and raw power, and in recent years has become a unique destination that has drawn travelers from all over the world, all the way to Guatemala, just to witness this natural phenomenon. My first time here was in 2017, and nearly a decade later, my adventures have brought me back beneath the shadows of volcanoes once more, and we begin our journey here on the cobbled streets of Antigua, Guatemala. Antigua is one of my favorite mid-sized cities in the world. For me, it sits in that perfect genre of travel destinations where I feel the most alive in. I don't know what it is, the historic streets and architecture, the rich traditional cultures, the mountainous environment and abundance of hiking options nearby, and then you've got great restaurants, cafes, bars, a decent nightlife scene. It is that perfect walkable size where it's still big enough that you have everything you need, but small enough that you can walk everywhere and feel familiar with the whole city within a day or two. Cities like Cusco in Peru, Cuenca in Ecuador, San Cristobal de las Casas, Oaxaca, Guanajuato in Mexico, all around elite cities. Antigua is the perfect place to use as a home base and prepare before trekking up Acatenango, as well as a great place to relax and take it slow after the trek. Accompanying me on this adventure is my friend Lucy from South Korea, who I met in Pakistan of all places. I was in El Salvador, and when I found out she was going to be in Guatemala, figured the 5-hour bus ride up to Antigua was worth it to see an old friend who very rarely makes it over to this side of the world. We are here at Antigua Hostel, just a couple of blocks away from the main plaza. It's fairly basic, but it's got all you need, and the staff have been very helpful with arranging all of our travel plans like shuttles and treks. There are a bunch of agencies in town where you can book your Acatenango trek, but we just booked it with the hostel since it was already a pretty solid price at about $50 for everything from transportation, equipment rental, guides, accommodation, and meals. My first time trekking up Acatenango in 2017, it wasn't yet the globally renowned destination it is now, and even with the cheapest hostels, it was double or triple the price that I paid now for a more bare-bones experience. We even had to carry our own tents and sleeping bags, which made a difficult trek even more challenging. And the sun's coming out. This eruption in popularity, pun intended, has turned the Acatenango trek into a well-oiled machine. Of course, that popularity also comes with its downsides, but we will get into that later. Since Acatenango is a pretty tall mountain, falling just short of 4,000 meters above sea level, the altitude is something to consider. Spending a few days in Antigua, perched comfortably at 1,530 meters above sea level, will be helpful to acclimatize, and then going on a few practice treks like Volcan Pacaya or up to the White Cross overlooking the city might be a good idea. It could be only marginally helpful, but with a challenging trek like Acatenango, you should happily take any advantage you can. The prep leading up to Acatenango was, in fact, not used much for preparation. I went in a bit more overconfident considering I had done it before in much less favorable circumstances. I did not sleep the night before, instead opting to go to a rave in an abandoned swimming pool. I did it then, surely I could do it now. They do say hubris is often humanity's downfall, but I digress. We spent our days in Antigua at quaint cafes and wandered through historic buildings, from museums to art galleries to abandoned churches. We shopped at Antigua's many colorful markets and, of course, partook in a good party here and there. Like I said, Antigua has almost everything you could ask for. It is an incredible city, and it felt amazing to be back here after almost 8 years. Before long, The morning of Acatenango finally rolled around, and after whipping up a quick breakfast in the hostel kitchen, we were picked up and joined forces with the rest of our hiking group. And we are ready to go. We have not practiced or prepared. We have mostly slept and smoked, but I believe. It was a little over an hour to reach the trailhead of Acatenango, passing through small villages and the beautiful Guatemalan countryside. We met up with our guides, while local vendors offered last-minute snacks, drinks, hiking sticks, and other gear for the ill-prepared traveler. And away we go. This is so much harder than I remember. Acatenango round 2. Approaching the first break point for Acatenango. Mr. Lava Lava.
Lava Lava.
¿Qué tal? First Acatenango break. Got our gummies, got our group, got a dog. Let's get it. Ta-da-da! Second break point of Acatenango. How we doing, Jianxi?
It's okay, I'm not out of breath, but my
You're
body
just
is
dying. Here's a little rest spot. We're thriving. We are not going already. What the f?
Really?
Yeah.
Acatenango?
I hope not. Got our lunch break here for Acatenango. Got little shops here. Cheers. It is. It's got a little icing, like a little boxing ring in between matches.
This is our 5th break.
5th break, okay, that means one more break, he said. We are getting close though, I can feel it. Mostly in my legs and my neck. Ooh, me! Crushing it! We're out in the open now. Above the clouds. First glimpse of Volcan Fuego.
Turn the corner and there she is. Beautiful.
After about 6 hours of uphill climbing, including between 1 or 2 hours of breaks at lunch, we reached the base camp where we would be spending the night. We were welcomed with our cozy tents and sleeping bags and plenty of chairs and benches to rest our legs.
Made it to camp. These are our tents. Can't see Fuego anymore. Desapareció. But definitely didn't have these luxuries 8 years ago. Sleeping indoors now. Didn't even have to carry a tent. These are the digs for the night. Sleeping bags, tent, lots of room. Stunning.
Everyone was very celebratory, the vibes were at an all-time high, and it was time to soak in the views and let ourselves relax for a while.
Oh, you're moving there like
Wow.
A little bit later, about half of the group paid extra to continue onwards to a closer viewpoint of Volcan Fuego, and the others went on a quick detour to catch the sunset from a different location.
Adventurous bunch of hikers. The only one left at camp. Everyone went on side quests to go to Fuego or sunset. I'm more like one of these dogs. We just chilling, you know, disfrutando las vistas.
I decided to hang back at camp and fly the drone despite it being super windy and cloudy out. The fast-moving clouds, the surreal landscapes, and golden hour lighting just made for such an ethereal feeling, and I wanted to do my best to capture that. And then, disaster struck. The wind picked up and the drone simply could not contend with the high speeds and continued drifting further and further away from me. Its battery was nearly depleted and I started kicking myself for the reckless decision to fly in these conditions. One of our guides overheard me panicking and came by to see what was up. I explained everything to him and showed him where my drone had crashed over a kilometer away, nearly onto the slopes of Volcan Fuego. 20 minutes, he said, but we had to go fast as the light was dwindling. We ran down the mountain following the trail to Volcan Fuego before cutting into the woods and traversing overgrown brush for about half a kilometer. With no cell signal, it was hard to get an exact position on where we were in relation to the drone, and with the thick brush and near total darkness, I was frantic and just asking to go home. Before heading back, one of the guides managed to get decent signal, typed in the actual coordinates that the DJI app gave me, and against all odds, we managed to find it. I honestly could not believe it, but we still had the treacherous trek out of the woods and uphill back to camp, so I couldn't celebrate just yet. As one should have known, it did not take 20 minutes. Maybe for a local Guatemalan mountain guide, but not for me. I didn't bring water, and I struggled mightily on the way back up, and all in all, the whole ordeal took close to 3 hours. From running down the mountain as the sun was setting, to climbing back up in complete darkness with no water. It was much more adventure than I bargained for, and dinner back at camp, which was just meagerly spiced spaghetti, felt like a Michelin star meal at that point. While nothing could compare to trekking Acatenango on no sleep and a post-rave come-down, today's misadventure certainly gave it a run for its money. This mountain has truly given me stories for a lifetime, and I would sleep very cozily in the tent that night after doing today's hike, and then pretty much doing half of it again after dark. The rest of the group would wake up at around 4 a.m. to summit Acatenango itself, about a 2 to 3 hour round trip, but worth it to see the sun rising from the top. When I did it that first time, we were stuck in a cloud and couldn't see anything at all. It was a tough and steep trek, and I wasn't particularly eager to do it again, since Acatenango was already a notch in my belt of summits, and after yesterday's misadventure, a little extra rest would do me very well. Fortunately for this group, the views were totally clear and everything was in full view. About half of us stayed at camp to enjoy the sunrise from here and soak it all in until it was time for breakfast and hot chocolate.
Got our hot choco. Acatenango. Cheers.
That was like it was really fast and easy because it was like a bunch of sand.
It's in my pocket.
We then packed our things and began the journey down, which might be even more challenging and treacherous than actually going uphill.
Slip and slide. Oh no! We're coming down from Acatenango base camp. I did not go up to the top. Not this time. Lucy did. She's a badass. How was it, Lucy?
It was amazing. Obviously, it was super hard at first, but then we got through a point where everything got easier, and then it just got easier as we went up because we knew we were near it.
She got into that flow state where you just go up and up. A lot more adventure than bargained for, but that's what life is about, baby. Moments that make your heart beat faster. According to Jianxi over here, here's the path down, featuring our group of like 36 people, 5 guides from all over the world. We had Lithuania, Mexico, Ireland, Germany, Korea,
UK,
India, the Philippines. So many places represented in this group. Wow, you know fucking everybody. What the hell? I did not meet half the group, but a very full feeling being with good people, good vibes, who are able to make the challenge worth it and kind of suffer together, share snacks and water, and just have fun with each other.
yes.
Moral support, physical support, everything. Oh yeah, Thailand, everywhere. Got an entrepreneur here. Preparo, se puso lindo. Woohoo, we're doing it, Jianxi. We're so talented and fast. Come on. We're so close, Lucy. It's about wrapped up. Acatenango. Final stretch. Just about 20 more minutes. If that. Lucy is dead. But we are thriving. Crushed it entirely.
And that is where our Acatenango adventures come to a close. All I can say is if you are thinking about hiking Acatenango, this is your sign. It is such an unforgettable experience. It is tough. It can be a punishing hike, but it is as rewarding as it is challenging. Seriously, I put myself through that punishment once before, and I happily did it again because I knew what awaited me at the end of the difficult uphill battle. Even though the eruptions weren't as frequent or as explosive as my first time summiting Acatenango, I'd say it was still worth it for the epic views, the glimpses of embers and sparks, the smoke around the crater, and the overall camaraderie of hiking with new friends from all over the world. Seriously, we had such a fantastic group. This bucket list hike truly attracts people from everywhere. I made new friends from India, Thailand, Lithuania, Mexico, and you know the usual suspects: Netherlands, Germany, Ireland, Canada, the UK. Just great people to share this experience with and go back to Antigua and explore the rest of Guatemala and Central America with. And of course, shout out to our guides, the ones who helped me recover my drone drone and also made sure our group of 36 people got up and down the mountain safely. Mr. Lava Lava especially, he was always keeping the vibes high. What a time, y'all.
Mr. Lava Lava. Mr. Lava Lava.
Thank you guys so much for watching and following along for this one-of-a-kind adventure. Don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment to let me know if you'd hike Acatenango, and be sure to subscribe so you can stay tuned for more of my life as a full-time nomad and my adventures across 80 countries and counting. Again, I'm also in pretty much every platform, Instagram, TikTok, my own website, so check me out on there as well if you want to see more from my nearly 10 years on the road as a full-time traveler. Again, thank you guys for watching. Desde el fondo de mi corazón, muchísimas gracias por su apoyo. Hasta pronto, safe travels, and see you all on the next video. Ciao!